What's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to hardwire a radar detector into your 2004 WRX. It's pretty much going to be the same for all cars, but some of the things you're going to need is this little radar detector hardwiring kit for whatever pinout you have for your radar detector, and then obviously your radar detector, which should have came with the AC adapter, which you just plug into your cigarette lighter and normally just do it that way. But when you do that, you also have a bunch of wires all around the engine, all around the interior, and sometimes that doesn't look like the cleanest install. So what this kit's actually going to do is it's going to hide all the wires underneath the dash and the center console, and then this is going to sit in the center console. Probably not the best location for it, but at least it's going to be away from everything, and it's not going to be up anywhere in the windshield, prohibiting your view. So that seems like the best idea I can have right now. Normally these kits are used to wire it kind of up like one of your dash pillars, and then you normally hang it by your mirror, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use the kit for what it is and go ahead and put it down in the center console. So let's go ahead and go over some of the items we're going to need, and then we'll get started. Alright, so just to go over some of the items that you're going to need, obviously you're going to need your radar detector. This is, if I can read it right, is a Cobra XRS 9485. It's kind of an older model, but I picked it up back in the day, secondhand, for like $25. It's been in 2 of my cars over the past couple of years, so that's all right. It's definitely not the best, but it's something, and it does help a little bit. This is the original, not charger, but the original power cable that came with it. You're going to be obviously plugging this into your cigarette lighter and then putting this into the actual device. And a lot of times that doesn't look the best with this cord hanging around, so we're going to hardwire it. And this is basically the hardwire kit I got off eBay. It has a built-in fuse, the same pinout over here as the one here, and then just your power and ground cables. Some other items you're going to need, just your basic electrical tape, Harbor Freight, cheap, easy, simple. A bunch of little clips and adapters and things like that, just some various ones. You're mainly going to be using ones kind of like this to actually put onto these wires to kind of get them to ground to places and plug them in. So just go to Home Depot, Harbor Freight, or whatever, and just get a various amount of these things. You're going to need your wire strippers and also some scissors. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is I will be detaching all the fog light wiring I have here. This is actually power cable and all this. It actually runs into through the firewall, through a grommet, and into the interior with a switch. We're actually going to be using that switch to activate the power for the radar detector. And to do that, I'm going to be after getting rid of a lot of wiring. The wires actually come down somewhere in here, if I can pull them out. But you can see the ends of the wires are still chilling here. I took the 2 fog lights out that I had chilling here because I already basically have fog lights here. So I felt that I didn't need all these lights in the front, and I wanted to clean it up. So we're going to go ahead and use those wiring, all that wiring, and we're going to go to the interior here. I'm going to show you basically where that switch is going to be. So the switch here, it's pretty nice. It fits in, blends in, looks good. So basically the radar detector is going to be sitting here. The power cable is going to be coming out of here without inhibiting the actual movement of this. This is going to be able to turn on, as you can see the light comes on. It's going to be able to turn on the radar detector, and then we're going to run the wiring underneath here all the way here, and then if I can pull this out while holding the camera. But basically behind here, I'm not going to pull it out because I'll probably break it, but behind here is going to be your fuse box, and then you're going to splice from the fuse box to get power to the radar detector.
I'm safe inside you, the place I run to. Never wanted more than this. I'll be your harbor, shining armor, show you the way back.
All right, so now I took out all this wiring and all this randomness that wasn't really put together all that well in the first place. So now this is all cleaned up. There's no power coming from here. We're gonna do it all directly from the interior. And I went ahead and I actually looked at these wires here. I mean, here's the switch and they're all like kind of nasty. So I don't know what that is actually from. Probably too much power or something. Either way, probably wasn't good. And here we have the fuse box. I spliced in here, but we're gonna splice in down here, I think on one of the rear wiper, which I don't have a rear wiper, so it's always on. And basically, all you're gonna have is your switch wire, which is just giving power to whatever you want to. And then this red one is actually your power wire, which is gonna be connected directly over here. So let's continue on. All right, 2 quick items I forgot to go over at the beginning. You're gonna need, well, this is the easiest way to probably do it, but you're gonna need one of these splice a fuse type of thing. Basically, it just plugs into your fuse box and you put your original fuse in one and a new fuse, which I got some new fuses here, new fuse in there, and it gives you power to whatever you need. And here's the fuse box. Basically, you can tap into any one of these. I actually used, for my boost gauge, I use this illumination one, which is basically anytime you have your parking lights or headlights on, that fuse is gonna be giving power. What we're gonna tap into this time is this 10 amp rear wiper one down here, because I don't have a rear wiper, but there's still always power going to this whenever the car is in the on position. So that one's gonna be best for what we need here, which is to be powered anytime the car is basically on. So that one's probably gonna be best for this application. All right, just a little update. Basically, I have the power wire here with the 2 10 amp fuses all wired in. Coming up here, I'm gonna plug that in last. Currently, I'm just kind of going through here, wiring up the switch with where this is gonna come out at. This is gonna come out at right where this is. It's gonna plug in right here. Here's the wire cable for the actual device. It's gonna run into this fuse. There's just so much wiring here. I could splice it together and get rid of it, but I'm just gonna kind of tuck it away. I need to use it later, it's still there. Then this is gonna be, this is now spliced into the switch wire, which is this white wire here. That's gonna give it power. And then this needs to go to another ground, which is currently just chilling here in this little spool. And it's probably gonna be grounded up in here somewhere. Maybe not in there, I was just planning, because there's gonna be too much wiring in there. I'm gonna run it up here and ground it somewhere over here. Not really sure yet. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All right guys, so just finishing up here. I finally plugged it in the rear wiper one. I'm gonna also button this all up to make it a little bit better. The other ground I used for my boost gauge, which is up here and spliced down here. I used the ground for this, this latch here. I used the other bolt for the ground for this, which runs all the way up underneath here, and this is all gonna be put away and nice and neat. But essentially, that's all together. I actually turned the car on here, and you can see here's the switch, and the switch is all hooked up. I have this sitting where I want it. It's all gonna be nicely put down in here, and we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. What's gonna happen here, hopefully, is this is gonna turn red, and the radar detector is gonna come on when I hit this. So let's go ahead and try it.
Testing. System ready.
All right, so that's good. Obviously it's working. And then whenever I turn it off, it'll go off. It won't tell me it's off, but now it's off. And then if I turn it back on again,
Testing. System ready.
it turns back on. So that's good. And the cool thing is, if I actually turn this on,
System ready.
and let's assume I'm just being a dumbass and I leave it on and I don't see the red light and I just forget about it. If I actually turn, I'm gonna turn the key off, but watch the light and everything. It's all gonna go off. So if you want it on all the time and you just wanna get in your car and turn your car on,
Testing.
when you turn it on, it's gonna come on. Or if you're just cruising around town and you're going to work and you're not, on the highway, or you don't want it on, or maybe you're getting too many false alarms, you just turn it off. And then anytime you turn the car on and off, it's gonna be completely off. So it's a cool way to kind of wire this all up and make it so it's not on all the time whenever it's hardwired. And if you want it to be on all the time, you can't put it on all the time, and it's not gonna wear out your battery or anything like that. So looks like everything's working. I'm gonna button everything up and then we should be good. All right, one small little tip. If you ever have those the fuses and you can't get them out, just go in your actual fuse box case here, and they actually have like a little puller outer. You can actually use this, and it goes right in. You can actually pull out the fuses real quick, easy, simple. One of like the best things they actually give you, at least for doing electrical work here. And then when you're all done, you just put it back in there. You got some extra fuses here. They give you like one of each, you know, a 10, a 15, 20, and even a 30, which there's not too many 30s in there, but like that's your fuse box. And you could also splice into here, but nobody wants to. You could if you were doing anything in the engine bay, but just go ahead and put your cover back on there and lock that back in, and you're good to go.
Start with the kids.